sometimes. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order February 10th, 2026. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much. Item number one, Manager McGill, would you mind giving us an update?
I'm going to call the roll first.
I do it every time.
Thanks for checking on me.
Yeah, every time.
Commissioner Flynn.
Present.
Commissioner Petty.
Here.
Commissioner Swager Wilson.
Right here.
Commissioner Siegler.
Here.
And I'm not sure if Commissioner Izzo is online. It does not appear so. Okay. Now I will move into summary of discussion session topics and manager's announcements.
Whatever you prefer.
All right, thank you. Earlier tonight, the commission met in discussion session and received information and discussed the following items. We received information from Tool Design and Ian McMeans on the progress of the active transportation plan that we are working on jointly with Dormont. We also heard a review of the various municipal pedestrian safety projects that the municipality has undertaken in prior years and got some safety statistics from the chief related to pedestrian movements in the community. We did not have time for updates on the activities of the various boards from their commission liaisons. We'll try to get to that next meeting. Prior to that meeting, the commission met in exec session to receive legal advice from the solicitor on a variety of topics. The next meeting of the commission will be held on Tuesday, February 24th. That meeting will begin at 8 p.m. in this room. Here are the ways the public can participate, either in person, you don't need to pre-register, simply show up at the appropriate meeting time, or remotely via the Zoom webinar format. You don't need to pre-register, simply click the link located on the meeting agenda on the municipal website. And if you wish to speak during the citizens' comments or during public hearings, simply use the raise hand feature on Zoom and you'll be notified when it is your turn to speak. That is all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Manager McGill. All right, community highlights, Commissioner Flynn.
Thank you, Commission President Siegler. All right, quick community announcements. Here we go. First up, March 1st is the deadline to apply for the open vacancies on our municipal boards and authorities here in the municipality of Mount Lebanon. All it really takes is a passion for the community and a little time to give back. To apply, head over to mountlebanon.org/boards. And just a quick note, you can apply for boards at any time during the year since openings do pop up when life changes. Next up, we're hiring. Summer and seasonal positions are now open, including summer camps and pool management. You know, the people who keep summer fun running and things mostly under control. We've also got 2 paid internships available. One in treasury management for folks who, like me, like hiding behind a spreadsheet and making numbers behave, and one in the public information office for people who enjoy helping explain what's happening, keeping everyone informed, and would rather not look at spreadsheets. 2 other important needs to flag. We are still, as usual, looking for crossing guards. If you've ever stood on a crosswalk watching the traffic and thinking, someone should really be here, this is how you make that happen. And separately, the police department will be testing for new officers on March 21st. If you're looking for a truly meaningful public service, steady responsibility, and a chance to serve the community in a very real way, this is a fantastic opportunity. All of these opportunities and the application links can be found at mountlebanon.org/employment. Mount Lebanon is an equal opportunity employer, and we welcome your interest. And one last thing, despite the fact that it feels like spring today, because we all know how this usually goes, thanks to our recent storm, our Snow Angels program is currently full for households requesting help. That said, we are still looking for volunteers with about 40 households still in need of assistance. So yes, the snow is melting today, But if you've lived here longer than 5 minutes, you know this probably isn't the season finale just yet. If you're able to help out, please sign up at mountlebanon.org/snowangels. And a reminder for next year, this program works best when it's set up before the snow starts flying, not when we're suddenly checking the forecast again. If you think you might need help next winter, please plan to sign up in the late fall. And that's the municipal roundup for tonight. President Siegler, back to you.
As always, thank you for your passionate remarks. Item number 2, I'd like to invite up Chief Christoffel to recognize Jamie Waugh as the 2025 Fire Officer of the Year.
So I'm sitting in my chair back here trying to figure out how in the world I do this as a radio show announcer. And an infomercial I'll start off with this. If you want to know how to make a fire chief sweat, have a fire call 15 minutes before the commission meeting where you're going to recognize the guy that's on the fire truck. So, good evening, everybody. Tonight, we have the privilege to recognize a leader whose impact on this department is felt every single day, on every fire ground, in the station, in training, and throughout our community. The Fire Officer of the Year is not simply about rank, years of service, or a single achievement. It's about consistent leadership, professionalism, mentorship, and an unwavering commitment to the mission of the fire service and the people that we serve. This year's recipient embodies all of those qualities. The officer leads by example. They are the ones that everybody looks to whenever the situation is difficult, the call is demanding, or the path forward isn't immediately clear. Their calm decision-making, sound judgment, and command presence provide confidence to the crews and reassure our residents. Beyond emergency response, this officer invests heavily in training and development. He takes time to teach, mentor, and guide both new and experienced members. His influence has helped shape not only individual firefighters, but the overall professionalism and readiness of the department. He understands that leadership is not about giving orders, it is about earning the respect, building trust, and taking care of people. This officer consistently demonstrates accountability, teamwork, and dedication to the service and goes far beyond expectations. Whether coordinating complex incidents, supporting department initiatives, or simply being someone others can rely on, he represents the very best of what a fire officer should be. Most importantly, he leads with integrity. His actions reflect the values of the department and the standards that we have all set to follow. It's my honor to present to the commission the Fire Officer of the Year and someone who makes this department truly better every day. Please join me in congratulating Fire Officer of the Year, Jamie Waugh. His wife and kids couldn't be here it was bedtime, so they're at home, but I'd like to personally thank his wife Casey and his 3 kids for allowing us to have him for the time that they give us with him.
Nice. Also, on behalf of the commission, I'd like to present you with this, Fire Officer of the Year. Imagine it's something.
Oh yeah, we got lots more.
Lots of those.
So Representative Dan Miller, or I guess he's former Representative Dan Miller, now
Yes.
Your Honor. Now Your Honor, so
Honorable.
his office did a wonderful citation for Jamie for the Fire Officer of the Year. I'm not gonna read it, because normally he would, and I wanna respect everybody's time, and we might have another call. So this is this one. Thank you very much, and we got one more. I apologize. If it's okay, sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Keith Wayner from Senator Fontana's office has a presentation.
Thank you. I too won't read it in the timing and the fact I'm just getting over having no voice for the last week or so. But this is a citation from the state Senate. It'll be similar to the one from the House. There's some whereases, and it's signed by the Senator Fontana and the President of the Senate and the Secretary of the Senate.
That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Scott's gonna get a quick picture. Yeah, Sandy's gonna want us to get in the middle, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sandy's gonna want to get in the middle. Sandy will want us to. Thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
Next, we have our new junior commissioner. Let's see. Welcome up, Mr. Murphy.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mickey Murphy, and I will be the junior commissioner for...
They're not leaving because of you, by the way. It's,
You're all going to the saloon
Yeah.
to separate, celebrate.
We'll see you there later.
Yeah, I mean,
I will be the junior commissioner this coming spring, and I'm very excited to be here. I have no pressing topics or issues at hand to kind of present, so I'm just going to introduce myself real quick. I'm a 12th grader at Mount Lebanon High School. I played football since I was in 3rd grade, and I just finished my last season earlier. I'm active on the Model UN team, which I also just finished my last conference this past weekend. I am cast in the musical. I'd say my two biggest passions are politics and movies. That's why I plan on studying political science and filmmaking in college. And yeah, it's just a little about me, and I look forward to attending all these meetings.
Well, Mickey, we're very happy to have you on board. Fantastic. We appreciated your applying, and thanks so much for your comments, and we look forward to sharing the rest of the semester with you.
Thank you.
great.
All right. Excellent. Now on to citizens' comments. And we will start with Colonel Hoon. As a reminder, please state your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
I've been doing this for a few years.
Yeah, you know the drill.
Bill Hoon, 456 Coolidge Avenue. We're living through dark times. I don't think anybody's happy with the way things are going. When folks' actions end up with the killing of our citizens, and other countries are killing people willy-nilly with total disregard for any of it, well, you can't say these are good times at all. But I'm just not happy with any of that. Neither is anybody that I know. I had a reunion recently, not this year, but recently. And all Mount Lebanon High School graduates, I was talking to 10 or 12 of them. We were in a circle doing the old time thing, and then I said, look, you all talk about all the good times you had here, and you've all been very successful. You can live anywhere you want. You want to live in London, fine, go. But would any of you consider moving back to Mount Lebanon? Not one individual said they would. And when I said, "Why, what's up?" Well, the world we grew up in is gone. Mount Lebanon has changed quite a bit. It's not the world that we knew, and we live in much better places, and we're happy where we are. So we're definitely not coming back to Mount Lebanon. I think there are 2 of us from my class, 63, still in this township. That's it. One died, so, there would have been 3. So. But that's a resounding statement on where we are today, I think. I just don't know what to say to that. In 2004, we had one individual, one commissioner, with a terrific hatred for deer. One individual managed to rope in all the other commissioners, and we went off on this killing campaign, an insane killing campaign. We never came up with a reason for that. So it appears that our commissioners just like killing stuff, which is insane in my mind. You want to kill things, go to Ukraine. Lots of Russians need killing there. So, you know, we've done a lot of research. That's what my group does primarily, the Friends of the Earth. They're computer geeks, and they spend a lot of time just going through the literature, all the research, what's going on. You know, there is not one community that's come up with a legitimate reason to kill deer. In Peters Township, the police chief there has made that a killing ground for his police force. The officers that want to hunt deer are the only ones that are allowed to go out and kill deer. It's perfect, you know, the whole community just for that, for them. And you know why the people want these deer killed? Every complaint. You should see what they're doing to my bushes. They're eating my flowers. That's what is in the literature all across the country. There is no legitimate reason to be killing deer anywhere in the country. So the only thing we can think is, you like doing it. Anybody want to give me a reason?
In fact, it is not fun or bloodlust. It has been a matter of.
You speak up, sir.
Yeah, it's not simply fun on our part. It was a matter of car accidents and deer. That's what really created this
Accidents?
issue. Yeah, issues with car accidents. And if you look at the statistics, the number of accidents, vehicular deer accidents has reduced significantly since the policy's been put in place.
I understand that. And those accidents, they're not really accidents, they're deer kills.
The
But,
cars aren't aiming for the deer.
well, there was one instance at the Dormont Pool, a whole line of traffic on the inside lane stopped because there was a fawn in the middle of the road on the outside lane. One individual came ripping down the road and killed that deer. That was deliberate.
Well,
Now, I'm not saying they're all deliberate actions, but the research shows that you've got to be going around 50 miles an hour or higher to absolutely have a good chance of killing deer.
As always, we appreciate your comments, Colonel Hume. Thank you very much. Mr. Egler, we missed you. We are concerned.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I finally dug my way out of my driveway, so that's why I'm here. I look familiar.
Yes, yes.
You're starting me over.
You're wasting time, Dave.
Anyway, Dave Egler, 121 Poplar Drive. When I'm passing out, I presented a week ago at the Mobility and Transportation Advisory Board, attended by Commissioner Flynn. And what you see there with the yellow dots, there's two different maps. One of them has Spruceton on, and one of them there's a dot above. That's where Spruceton is. Where the yellow dots are is basically indicating streetlights. And what I requested at that meeting, which was, by the way, I guess, discussed and approved for recommendation, the light that's at Cypress Way, of course, is where medical rescue is right up the road. Right there where the alleyway goes in, Cypress Way continues, there's a streetlight right there, which makes perfect sense. It's kind of at a T intersection. Only about 30 feet towards Castle Shannon Boulevard, the first pull up, there's another traffic light. It's probably the closest traffic light together in Mount Lebanon. To me, it's not really necessary.
Streetlight.
Street light. If you go up to Castle Shannon Boulevard at the intersection, there is no street light there. My request was to move the street light from the mid-block up to Castle Shannon Boulevard for safety. If you look on Castle Shannon Boulevard, there's one at Spruceton, which has very little traffic going in and out of, because it's kind of like a deadlock area where Poplar gets a lot of traffic. It was kind of interesting, was brought up about the A-pillar from Chief Haberman. An incident with me driving home one night, rainy, dark night, making a left onto Poplar. The A-pillar, of course, blocks your view. A-pillar because of airbags. That's why they're wider and harder to see. It was a rainy night, dark, and I made a left, and I was going pretty slow and trying to look. And as I entered the intersection, or crosswalk, I should say, somebody banged the side of my car. I didn't see him there. They actually stopped, stepped back and hit the side of my car. I wound the window down and they yelled at me, saying, "Did you see me?" And I replied, "I'm sorry, no, I did not." They were wearing all black.
Yeah.
And on a rainy night, it's hard to see, and there's no street light there. So my request is to have the street light, which is only 30 feet up the way, moved to Castle Boulevard intersection. And like I said, it was discussed at the board, and I think they thought it was a common sense request. Since I still have a lot of time here.
Indulge yourself.
Hey, Dave, I have a question. Does this
Yes.
dot mean there's a light up here at Spruceton too?
There's 3 maps that have Spruceton, and there's 3
Okay.
that don't. That's where Spruceton's intersection is, so
Okay.
you were the unfortunate one to get a.
That's all right. I just want to make sure I understood.
That's what that's about. I just want to
Okay.
show where they're at. They're usually at
Sure.
intersections, which makes sense, but that one mid-block, you know, it doesn't, like I said, at the corner there's a lot of cut-through traffic that gets around the light by Scott Road there and to
Yep.
get up through Mission Hill. So the other, the question I have is on item number 10, the purchase of the vehicle for recreation. I know I've requested this many times in the past. Other than CoStars, was there any other quotes received, like through COGS or anywhere else for the purchase of vehicle? Because vehicles are near and dear to my heart since I was on the vehicle committee while I was here, and I always try to get the best price on everything. And I know CoStars 90% of the time is the best price, but not always. And I'm just asking, was there, and no, you won't get an answer because I've already asked.
You already asked Mr. Egler?
I asked
already
Mr.
asked Mr.
Donnell,
Donnell?
and he said that somebody else from the staff, I guess, was doing the research on it. He wasn't sure.
I can answer the question.
Oh, good.
I was gonna say.
The short answer is no, we did not go to any other dealers. We went to the closest CoStars dealer that had the vehicle that we wanted. It was 1.5% over dealer invoice and 5.5% less than could be charged under CoStars. We didn't feel it was necessary to research it any further.
And just to give you a little bit of additional information, Mr. Egler, we do pay attention to citizens' comments. You were not here for a purchase that we made at one of the prior meetings, but we have started reaching out to different dealerships that are part of the CoStars program, because they do have discretion in terms of what they want to make, if you will. And we're able to locate a vehicle at a lower price than where we typically would purchase a vehicle through CoStar. So we are doing our due diligence.
That's, okay, thank you, I appreciate that. And since Dave took a little bit of my time, if I could, mentioning about deer, I am one with, once again, the A-pillar issue, coming down Byron
Yeah,
Road on a Sunday
yeah.
evening, driving down A-pillar, this deer came running right up my car. I didn't see it the whole time because it was in the A-pillar. I didn't see it until it hit the corner of my car. And I was going the speed limit.
So he attacked you in this instance.
Well, it was she, you know, imagine that, a woman coming after me. But she attacked me, I mean, everything was in slow motion. When it got to my car, it actually went down and I could see his face hitting the corner of my car. And I don't want to go into the gory details, but they had to put it down, basically. As I was there blocking traffic, because it was in the road going from lane to lane, I had to move my car from lane to lane so the traffic didn't come down and smack it. But, and as far as that comment about going around, I don't think they were intentionally trying to hit that deer. Somebody's in a hurry is what it's all about, so.
Yeah.
I thank you, and congratulations to my commissioner on winning.
Thank you.
Winning the election.
Since we're not impinging on your time, the request for the streetlight issue, Rudy and I have had a conversation. Rudy's working with Duquesne Light to understand what the process is, what the associated costs for the municipality would be. So that won't actually need commission to give us direction to do that. We'll handle that internally.
I wasn't sure, like I said, I tried to go to the board first.
Honestly, it went very well. They were very supportive. It was a good discussion. We appreciate it, and obviously it raised the issue, and
And this is the first time.
they're
I've
addressing
ever
it.
seen it discussed.
I just wanted you
I
to know
thank you,
what
and I'm
the,
glad it was discussed. Very much appreciated, and Rudy, welcome back wherever you are. Was Rudy gone?
He's already gone.
He knew to run out, so thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, Mr. Weiner, I assume that we're only on the public comment sheet for the firefighter recognition, correct? All right, great. Mr. Ragan, please.
Good evening. My name is John Reagan of 777 Shady Drive East, and this is the 6th in a series of talks I'm giving before the Commission and the Planning Board, mostly the Commission, critiquing Mount Lebanon's zoning and development laws. Tonight, I'm going to talk about driveways. This is an issue near and dear to my heart because in an age of artificial housing scarcity, I perceive mandatory driveway construction as detrimental to housing supply. Not just because we might be devoting more square footage to car storage than to people storage, but also because I can't help but notice when one of my neighbors buys the house next door to them and tears it down to build a code-compliant 3-car garage. The body of driveway regulations in the municipal code doesn't appear to be self-consistent. For example, the minimum driveway width in the land development ordinance is larger than the maximum driveway width in the streets and sidewalks code and arguably the zoning code as well. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. It's not uncommon for municipalities to ban literally everything so that the variances required to build something can be used as negotiating leverage against developers. Whatever the reason, it is annoying. The Saldo's driveway requirements are clearly geared towards strip mall type commercial driveways on the side of a highway. So I'm going to proceed under the assumption that some exemption for residential properties does exist, even though I can't find one anywhere. Thus, I will limit my complaints to the more reasonable zoning code version of the rules. For those that don't think about such things, wider driveways allows cars to cross the sidewalk at higher speed, which is hostile to pedestrians. So obviously I prefer the zoning code in this case. For residential properties, construction of a code-compliant driveway with a building permit is apparently required as part of the construction of any new home or repaving of any existing driveway. Since car storage is effectively an industrial accessory use, driveways on streets without alleys are also required to either wrap around the back of the house or to lead to a garage, effectively banning modestly sized parking pads on most streets, at least without a variance. Uncovered parking areas in the rear of the home are required to be screened from view, kind of like a dumpster, except that certain residents, mainly in the R1 Mansion District, can display their dirty, smelly, noisy machines in the front of their yard through the Governor's Drive loophole. I sympathize with the sentiment that cars are dirty, smelly, and noisy and would ideally be hidden away, but in an American suburb, they're already literally everywhere, so why does building construction have to bear the brunt of the red tape? Any property that has ever had a garage at any point in the past is required to perpetually maintain the existence of a garage, and any resident without a garage who wants a permit to repave their driveway without one must demonstrate to the bureaucracy that building a garage is technically infeasible. Of course, this housing amenity that Mount Lebanon deems so essential as to have a ratchet mechanism in the zoning code to systematically eliminate properties without it is often simply filled up with junk like any other unfinished basement, or perhaps with a car that can't be driven, either because it's broken down or because the ages of the median homeowner and the median person who is physically able to operate a car are rapidly diverging. Although it's almost an afterthought compared to complying with the requirements for screening and garages, it should be noted that every house or townhouse is required to have off-street parking for 2 vehicles minimum, regardless of zoning district, another hurdle to the construction of a modest parking pad. This is part of the reason why new construction on constrained lots usually involves the entire ground level being taken up by parking and a vestigial front door that's 15 feet in the air. A minor technical note, the code seems to want to consider a driveway being shared by 2 neighbors a spatially efficient way to comply with the requirements for rear yard access to be some sort of private street instead of an actual driveway. And since I did listen to the, I have a minute and listen to the discussion session online, I heard talk of policies that could be changed to influence pedestrian safety. And I do happen to note that the municipality currently fines people who ignore pedestrian walk signals, similarly to people who don't clear a sidewalk or engage in much more dangerous acts. So, thank you. Good evening.
Mr. Reagan, thanks again, once again, for your edifying comments. And I think that many of us agree that the zoning code has some inconsistencies and might be a bit outdated. Last Friday, we had this first steering committee kickoff for the zoning refresh with our consultants, and we're digging in. So over the course of the next few months, there'll be some outreach opportunities, and we are going to try to address all these issues, but appreciate the comments. Nick, I believe we have an online comment?
Yes, we got one. Let me get her on. 1 second. Julie, good evening. Please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record. You will have 5 minutes for your comments. You will hear a tone when your time's concluded.
Hi, my name is Julie Ann Sullivan, and I live at 48 Shady Drive West. I've included these comments I'm going to make in an email to Mr. McGill to send to the rest of you because there were pictures and I obviously can't show you those. Anyway, thank you for this opportunity. First, I want to thank Keith McGill and Rudy Sukal, I hope I pronounced that right, for their great ability to respond quickly to any correspondence I have ever sent. They are a fine example of what a valued township employee looks like. I came to speak last year about issues involving sidewalks and snow and want to follow up with that tonight. I'm not sure if anyone on this council had any influence, but if you did, thank you for making Uptown safer, especially in how Spring Hill Suites has stepped up to make their section of the sidewalk safer. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, the side streets need help. I have done a very scientific study on Shady Drive West from Meadowcroft to Mapleton. That means I walk those 2 blocks every day. That's my scientific study. It's been 15 days since our big snowstorm, and still, even after today's big thaw, some of the sidewalks here are not walkable without me wearing spikes on my boots and taking teeny tiny steps. And I've sent you a picture of that. At the northern corner of Shady Drive West and Mapleton, I've had to mountaineer just to get around the corner just to stay on the sidewalk. And I sent you a picture of that where the snow has gone down, but it was halfway up the stop sign. And the northern side of the street from Mapleton has never been cleared. And now it's trodden down by people walking, but it's uneven and slippery. And 120 Shady Drive West, the sidewalk has never been cleared, including today. Now, of course, the northern unsightly side of the street is much worse as it doesn't get any sun. And the biggest culprits on this block, and probably in other parts of our township, are rental properties. The tenants don't do it, and the owners don't seem to care. And I'm sure, like I said, this street's not the only problem. Last year when I came here, I was told that it was up to the police to write citations, and I repeat what I said last year. That's ridiculous. They have way more important areas to concern themselves with, and I'm sure that isn't even on their radar. But the safety of the people who live and walk here should be, including the kids who walk to school. Do we really want people walking in the street? There are places like the corner of Shady and Mapleton that you'd put your life in grave danger if you were going to walk by the corner there, because cars just speed around it. And sometimes I'll be walking to the end of the street, but then I can't cross the street because there's this big berm of snow. So I'm asked this council again to please consider perhaps hiring a part-time person, like those who write tickets, to take a step to alleviate this problem. You could designate a site for people to report problems, and then that individual could investigate and write citations, or maybe ask them to be part of the Snow Angel program, which I didn't include in my email, but I like that idea. We have to do better. And so I look forward to hearing from this council about what you think of this idea or what other ideas you have. This past snowstorm was a wake-up call that we need to do more. Emails are not enough. Not everyone even signs up for them. I hope you will take this into serious consideration, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for the comments. And first, I would like to recognize that what the tremendous job the municipality did in a pretty out of the ordinary snow event in getting the streets cleaned. And then, in this instance, because it was so much snow, people had a couple extra days to get their sidewalks clear. But after that, warnings were issued. And then I believe we have cited a few people. Is that correct, Chief? And while I appreciate the comments, we do have an enforcement mechanism in place, and it is the Mount Lebanon Police Department. That is who we use, and that is how these are handled. And so for now, when I actually reported a couple myself on Monday morning that I was frustrated with. So I understand it might not be your preferred method, but that is our method, and it is effective. So I would certainly encourage you, if you come across any sidewalks that aren't being shoveled, anything that is hazardous, please report it to the police department. That is our enforcement tool, and they do a nice job of it. So I don't know if any additional comments. All right. As always, I appreciate all the public comments. Thank you very much. Moving on. All right. Item number 5, Commissioner Petty.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the minutes from the adjourned meeting held on January 27th, 2026. I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6, Commissioner Swager Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration to enact Ordinance Bill Number 2-26 to amend Chapter 7, Part 4, related to environmental conditions of property. Part 4 of Chapter 7 of the Municipal Code, Health and Safety, contains standards related to the environmental conditions of property. The proposed amendment would add standards to the existing ordinance in order to protect the public health, safety, and welfare of residents in order to maintain property values and prevent blight. This Part 4 shall apply to all properties in the municipality. Updated standards include provisions related to landscaping, sidewalks and driveways, windows and glazing, commercial properties, liabilities, and concurrence with statewide codes. I move to enact Ordinance Bill Number 2-26.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I would like to thank a number of people for getting us to this point. Thank you, Ian, very much for all your work in putting this legislation together. I'd like to thank the Resiliency Committee, especially the Commercial District Subcommittee, for doing their work to pull together some suggested language, our solicitor for reviewing it, and just everybody's effort in getting this to the finish line. This is something that's near and dear to my heart because I think our commercial districts are extremely important to the neighborhood as a whole. So I'm happy to see that we have an additional tool to try to get things, some things enforced and buildings as nice and clean as possible. So with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 7, Commissioner Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration to enact ordinance bill number 3-26, amending the Mount Lebanon Code, Chapter 4, Part 4, Fire Code regarding volunteer status. The classification of volunteer firefighters in the Mount Lebanon Code requires modernization and language adjustments. The proposed ordinance implements the use of the terms response firefighter and service firefighter to better delineate the roles of these groups. Other language changes are also made. Mr. President, I move to enact ordinance bill number 3-26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 8, Commissioner Petty.
Consideration, Mr. President, consideration for the adoption of resolution number R-3-26, calling on the legislature of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to pass legislation to allow for the creation of community energy programs in Pennsylvania. This resolution calls on the Pennsylvania State Senate to approve House Bill 504, the Community Energy Act. This as proposed by Representative Peter Schweier, which passed the House by a vote of 114 to 89 votes to provide for the community energy facilities. These programs enable individuals, businesses, and nonprofits to participate in the renewable energy market without installing systems on their own property. Advantages include reducing energy costs, increasing access to green energy for low to moderate income households, and increasing grid reliability. I move to adopt resolution number R-3-26.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9, Commissioner Swager Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration of the adoption of resolution number R-4-26 regarding an agreement to reimburse the municipality for providing street sweeping services along state roads. Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, PennDOT, has requested that the municipality prepare and sign a resolution and enter into a reimbursement agreement to sweep streets within the municipality that are owned by the state. The term of the agreement is 3 years from 2023 through 2026. Reimbursement will be based on an hourly rate provided by the state. This resolution and agreement replace an existing 3-year reimbursement agreement. The municipality will be reimbursed $5,746 each year for sweeping state-owned roads within the municipality. I move to adopt resolution number R-13-22, authorizing the municipal manager to authorize a 3-year agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the reimbursement to sweep streets within the municipality that are owned by the state.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, if I may.
Please.
This is a relatively de minimis item, but I'm curious, how many hours are we committed to for this amount, and are we capping that amount of hours?
I think it's part of our overall street sweeping contract for the municipality. We do get credits under the consent order for street sweeping activities. So is it capped? It's capped by contract in terms of the number of sweeps that we get for the community as a whole, but not specific to this contract, if that answers the question.
So is the state covering the cost that we are bearing?
Okay, I thought maybe that was Rudy, but it's not.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious.
And for any of these contracts where we have a similar contract with the state and with the county for the clearing of roads for snow and salting and taking, we never recoup the full cost of that service, but we at least recoup some cost of providing it. So, there's Mr. Supel.
I'm sorry, I was down the hall. Was there a question?
Well, I was just curious, about the $5,700 that we receive for the street sweeping.
That helps to offset this is a contractual program that we have where we sweep all the streets in the municipality. The state chooses to reimburse us for a portion of that service. We just add it into our contract and do the state roads, and then this is the agreed upon fee, if you will, that it's structured through Harrisburg, through PennDOT for these type of programs for shared service. So they're basically reimbursing us for the contractual sweeping of those streets, Washington Road, Connor, Gilkison, Scott Road, any of the state roads.
Right, my question is are we being fully compensated for the cost associated with those streets?
I've never taken it to the point where we break it down, a percentage of the curb miles for the full contract, so I can't answer that question, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
See, his answer was better than mine.
All right, any additional discussion? All right, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 10, Commissioner Flynn.
Last but not least, consideration to purchase one 2026 Chrysler Pacifica minivan from Cartwright LLC through the Pennsylvania CoStarz Cooperative Purchasing Program. The vehicle will replace the current 2011 Dodge Caravan, which has reached the end of its useful life. This vehicle is used by the Recreation Department to transport personnel, supplies, and equipment for recreation programs and special events, and for administrative purposes. The cost of the new vehicle is $45,524.47. Funding for this purchase has been appropriated in the 2026 budget at $46,000. Mr. President, I move to purchase one 2026 Chrysler Pacifica minivan through the Pennsylvania CoStarz Cooperative Purchasing Program, contract number 026-E24-254 at a total cost of $45,524.47.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'm curious at what's happening with this 2011 Dodge Caravan. Does anybody have their eye on it yet?
How many miles?
Except all reasonable offers.
All right. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, that motion carries. We are adjourned.
Marvelous.